Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever had that feeling? You know the one, where you're working harder than ever, you're doing all the right things, but your income just seems to be stuck behind some kind of invisible wall? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about that financial glass ceiling, and more importantly, what's really holding it in place. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at that invisible income wall. Then we'll uncover why it's not what you think it is. We'll dive into the real driver behind your finances, explore something called the family loyalty trap, and finally show you how to rewrite your financial identity for good. Okay, let's jump in. All right, let's start with a scenario that, for many of you watching, might sound a little too familiar. You are a genuine expert in what you do. You've got a fantastic offer, you're constantly learning, you're investing in the latest marketing strategies, maybe you're even tweaking your prices. And yet, when you look at the bottom line at the end of the month or the quarter, it's just the same. It's this exhausting, frustrating cycle of putting in more and more effort for the exact same results. Naturally, when we hit that plateau, we start looking around for what to blame, right? It must be the economy, or the market is just too saturated. Or maybe it's the competition. We convince ourselves there has to be some magic bullet strategy out there that we just haven't found yet. But what if the real problem, the real barrier, isn't out there at all? And this is the point where we need to completely reframe the problem. Because that ceiling you feel like you're hitting, it wasn't built by the market. The barrier isn't out there, it's in here. This is the core idea we really need to sit with. Your financial reality, right now, is a perfect mirror of the subconscious beliefs you hold about yourself, about your worth, and about what you believe is truly possible for you. Your income isn't just a number, it's a direct reflection of your identity. So, how does this actually work? Let's use a simple metaphor to really visualize the two powerful forces that are at play. I want you to think of your business or your career like a high-performance car. Your strategy, that's all your marketing plans, your sales funnels, your operational systems. That's the engine. It's incredibly powerful and you absolutely need it. But your subconscious identity is the one in the driver's seat, and that driver is the one who sets the speed limit based on what feels familiar and safe. So if your internal financial thermostat is set for, let's say, $10,000 a month, you can have the most powerful engine in the world, but the driver will never let you consistently cruise at $50,000. You might have a breakout month, a huge success, but then watch what happens. An unexpected bill appears, a big client leaves, you suddenly feel paralyzed by procrastination. Your subconscious will always find a way to slam on the brakes and bring you right back down to that familiar, safe income level. So the big question is, where does this internal driver, this programming that craves safety over success, even come from? Well, very often, its roots are tangled up in one of the most powerful and invisible forces in our lives, something we call the family loyalty trap. At its deepest level, this is a primal fear. You see, to our ancient tribal brain, being cast out of the group, being exiled from the clan, that meant certain death. So if your subconscious mind has created a link between making a lot more money than your parents and being seen as a traitor, as no longer belonging, it will actively sabotage your success to keep you safely inside the family's familiar reality. Let's get personal for a moment. I want you to take a breath and be really honest with yourself as we go through these next few questions. Think back to the home you grew up in. What was the energy around money? Was it a source of constant stress, tension, or even arguments? And what about the attitude toward work itself? Was there a sense that hard work, the grind, was a virtue in and of itself? Was there a kind of nobility in the struggle, as if earning money with ease was somehow less worthy or even lazy? And finally, what was the story you were told about wealthy people? Were they talked about as being greedy or maybe dishonest? Or was it a more subtle message, just that they were not like us? You see, if you answered yes to any of these, there's a very good chance you're subconsciously choosing loyalty to your family's story over your own financial success. Now, I know that hearing this can be really confronting. It can be a lot to take in. But here is the good news. Your financial identity is not a life sentence. It is just a program. And any program can be upgraded. That glass ceiling you feel, it is absolutely shatterable. The path forward is a 3-step process. And notice, this has nothing to do with finding a new external strategy. This is about becoming the person who can attract and sustain the wealth you want before it even shows up in your bank account. And the first step, acknowledgement, is exactly what you've just been doing. Finally seeing that old programming for what it is. The second step, permission, is so crucial. It's a conscious reframe. You have to understand that your success does not betray your past. It doesn't diminish your love for your family. In fact, your success is what honors their hard work and their struggles. It's what creates a new, more abundant future for your entire lineage. This is not betrayal, it's evolution. And you have to consciously give yourself permission to evolve. And finally, you embody this new identity. This is where you stop fighting the market, you stop chasing strategies, and you start doing the real work, the internal work. You expand your own capacity to have and to hold wealth. You start making decisions from a place of abundance, not a place of fear. Because this is the work that creates lasting, exponential change. So, are you ready? Are you ready to stop fighting with strategy and finally start upgrading your own internal operating system? If this really resonated with you today, drop a comment below and let us know your single biggest takeaway. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. To truly rewrite your story, join us in our program, The Relationship Code or The Finance Code. Click the link in the description below to start.